Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Let's do it again. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. I'm pleased to see all the progress that has happened over the last 20 years. I teach at a community college right now, and a lot has changed in the college campus. Now, some of it could be geographical, right? Obviously, this is a very different college than the one that I went to. Part of it could also be demographics. We have a lot of Hispanic Americans here in the Phoenix area. Part of it could also be the age bracket of people that I'm dealing with. But all in all, I see a lot of progress. I went to the student union the other day to print some materials, and I got I got very teary eyed because I noticed that you had groups of students who could accept each other's differences. Right. The first thing I noticed was that not everybody had to have a partner. Right. You had couples who were with singles. That was something that was not seen 20 years ago or even 10 years ago when I was working on my PhD. A lot of times there were events that were only open to couples, right? Not necessarily officially, but it was awkward to join in on a couples event, right? Nowadays, that barrier has kind of slowed down a little bit. The other thing that made me teary eyed was that I noticed the number of people eating healthy foods. You used to be cast out for eating healthy foods, and I never understood why. Why do you care? Some people used to think that I'm missing out on all this healthy foods or unhealthy foods. The truth is that I was enjoying food probably even more than if you were to actually measure somehow how much joy I get out of my food, I probably get much more joy today than 20 years ago when I was eating all that junk food, or even 3 years ago when I had a binge eating problem. I probably get more joy out of my food today than 3 years ago because 3 years ago I was eating it mindlessly. Right? You can go back to my videos when I first struggled with binge eating problems. Oh my God. A lot of it was mindless gulping. Actually, today, I went to a board game meetup, and you see, I have skin contact allergies to milk products, and this guy had a pizza, and I walked away. I said, why don't you finish that? We'll come back to your game when you're done. And he offered to eat it with utensils, fork and knife. Now here's the funny part. He hardly got through half the pizza. He was like, "Oh my God, I can't eat anymore." And so I explained to him that because he probably eats it a lot more slowly that way, and maybe he could give even when I'm not around and he doesn't have people with allergies nearby, he could give this a try some other time. There's no harm in it. And so he says, yeah, it really does help him eat less, but at the same time, he kind of enjoys using his hands. I took it at that. I said, well, okay, well, you can give it another try at some point. In the back of my mind, he's not enjoying using his hands. He has a habit that he needs adjustment. That he has a little bit of an adjustment syndrome. That's all there is to it. Um, but some people are not willing to adjust at all. My former boss at the tutoring center where I was working kind of had this kind of attitude. He never wanted to think. He just wanted to hum along, and so he's 72 years old. He might have 10 more years to go. He just wants to hum along for 10 years without learning a new thing at all. That's kind of sad. That's kind of sad. He's already committed suicide and doesn't even realize it. That's basically what it is, right? A lot of people live their lives like that, unfortunately. All right. Got a little bit tears of joy watching all the progress. And I can't stand people who are fixed minded about stuff. A lot of older people are like that. I almost identify as a Generation Z person. It helps that I look so young for my age, at the community college, a lot of people think I'm a student there, and that kind of helps because I'm always trying to adjust to new things. This is the Meter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum.